Kitties. That's our little red, we call him. Or, Mango. Judges 11. Jephthah the Gilead was a mighty warrior. His father was Gilead. His mother was a prostitute. Gilead's wife also bore him sons. When they were grown up, they drove Jephthah away. "You are not going to get any inheritance in our families," they said, "because you are the son of another woman." So Jephthah fled from his brothers, settled to the land of Tob, where the gang of scoundrels gathered around him and followed him. Sometime later, when the Ammonites were fighting against Israel, the elders of Gilead went to get Jephthah from the land of Tob. "Come," they said. You can get it. He's trying to get my foot. Okay. "Come," they said. Be out our commander, so we can fight the Ammonites." Jephthah said to them, "Didn't you hate me and drive me from my father's house? Why do you come to me now when you're in trouble?" The elders of Gilead said to him, "Nevertheless, we're..." Silly kitty. Okay, nevertheless, would you quit? Hey. "Nevertheless, we are turning to you now. Come with us to fight the Ammonites, and we'll give you the head over all of us who live in Gilead." Jephthah answered, "Suppose you take me back to fight and the Ammonites, and the Lord gives them to me. Will I really be your head?" The elders of Gilead replied, "The Lord is our witness." "We will certainly do as you say. Leave my fights alone." So Jephthah went out with the elders and Gilead. The people made him head of the commander over them, and he repeated all his words before the Lord at Mizpah. Then Jephthah sent messengers to the Ammonite king without question, "What do you have against me that you have attacked my country?" The king of the Ammonites answered Jephthah's messengers, "When Israel came up out of Egypt, they took away my land from Arnon the Jebus all the way to the Jordan. Now give it back peaceably." Jephthah sent back the messenger to the Ammonite king, saying, "This is what Jephthah says. Israelite did not take the land of Moab or the land of the Ammonites. But when they came out of Egypt, Israel went through the wilderness at the Red Sea and out on Kadesh. Then Israel sent a messenger to the king of Edom, saying, 'Give us permission to go through your country.' But the king of Edom would not listen. They sent also the king of Moab, and he refused. So Israel stayed at Kadesh. Now they traveled through the wilderness, skirted the lands of Edom and Moab, passed along the eastern side of the country of Moab, and camped on the other side of Arnon. They did not enter the territory of Moab, for the Arnon was its border. Then Israel sent messengers to Sihon, king of the Amorites, who ruled in Heshbon, and said to him, 'Let us pass through your country to our own place.' Sihon, however, did not trust Israel to pass through his territory. He mustered all his troops and encamped at Jahaz and fought with Israel. Then the Lord, the God of Israel, gave Sihon and his whole army to Israel's hands, and they defeated him. Israel took over the land of the Amorites, who lived in that country, capturing all of it from the Arnon, the Jebus, from the desert to the Jordan. Now since the Lord God of Israel has driven the Amorites out before his people of Israel, what right have you to take it over? Will you not take what your God Chemosh gives you? Likewise, whatever the Lord our God has given us, we will possess. Are you any better than Balak, son of Zippor, the king of Moab? Did he ever quarrel with Israel or fight with them? For 300 years, Israel occupied Heshbon, Arar, and the surrounding settlement, all the towns along Arnon. Why did you retake them during that time? I have not wronged you, but you are doing me wrong by waging war against me. Let the Lord, the judge, decide the dispute this day between the Israelites and the Ammonites. The king of Ammon, however, paid no attention to the message Jephthah sent him. The Spirit of the Lord came upon Jephthah. He crossed the Gilead and Manasseh, passed through Mizpah and Gilead. From there advanced against the Ammonites, and Jephthah made a vow to the Lord. If you give the Ammonites into my hands, whatever comes out of the door of my house to meet me when I return in triumph from the Ammonites will be the Lord's, and I will sacrifice it in a burnt offering. Jephthah went over to fight the Ammonites, and the Lord gave him into their hands, or gave them into his hands. He devastated 20 towns from Arar to the vicinity of Minah, as far as Abel Kerman, and thus Israel subdued Ammon. When Jephthah returned to his home in Mizpah, those who should come out to meet him but his daughter dancing to the sound of timbrels. She was an only child. Except for her, he had neither son nor daughter. When he saw her, he tore his clothes and cried, "Oh no, my daughter, you have brought me down. I'm devastated. I have made a vow to the Lord that I cannot break." My father, she replied, "You have given your word to the Lord. Do me just as you promised, now that the Lord has avenged you of your enemies. But grant me this one request," she said. "Give me 2 months to roam the hills and weep with my friends, because I will never marry." "You may go," he said. He let her go for 2 months. She went with friends in the hills and wept there, and after 2 months she returned. Her father did to her as he vowed. She was a virgin. From this comes the Israelites' tradition that each year the young women of Israel go out 4 days and commemorate the daughter of Jephthah the Gileadite.